Good morning, Steve Reed in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Well, there's no opening calls yet because the market won't open until later this morning. Across the holiday, most of the Midwest was dry. We've got some rains that are moving across South Dakota. Eventually, we'll move into Minnesota and Iowa over the next few days, and that will help corn crop and soybean crop there. Over another rain event early next week could move into the Dakotas and Iowa and Minnesota and offer some more moisture. The South Delta, the Eastern Corn Belt should see continued good rains. Driving through parts of Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana yesterday, I saw good crops. They look maybe just a tad late, but they are green color and have moisture, and we'll get more moisture. So you're looking for some pretty high yields in that area. These rains, I think, will help the corn and soybean crop and maybe a little bit of the spring wheat crop, but we're still looking for crop ratings to decline, maybe 1% in beans from 60 last week. Corn ratings down 1 to 2% versus 64 last week, and we could see spring wheat down 1 to 2% from last week's 20%. And we look at harvested wheat, maybe somewhere around 49%. I think that we're also in the outside markets. We're seeing a little bit of weaker U.S. dollar. We also note that crude oil is testing a pretty important price low at the 76.90 area, and some conflict between agreeing on production increase between Saudi Arabia and the UAE suggests that we might test $80 crude. Yet last week, the Goldman Sachs index was higher because of these higher energy prices and a rebound in industrial metals. And right now, you've got gold quite a bit higher. We did see one private crop scout lower his corn yield to 175.5, which gives you a 14.8 billion bushel corn crop. He also lowered his soybean yield to 50, which gives you a 43.35 million bushel crop. So even though these rains are helpful, the market is still looking at maybe 21 corn carryout of 1 billion bushels, beans around the 135 million bushel USDA, the USDA number. But for next year, plugging in a 178 yield and demand, you could see a 900 carryout for 21-22 for corn, and maybe 110 million bushel for soybeans. So we did note the same Crop Scout noted that a total 1.2 million acres in Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota of corn were added from the March intentions to June, and North Dakota was up 200 million acres in soybeans. We also noted a report from Brazil that this year they may export 20 million tons of corn versus 33 last year. So lower calls, we'll see how low is low. We'll see if these carryout numbers offer some stability. The long-range 2-week forecast set at the end of the time frame does build a ridge back into the plains, but we'll see how much it impacts the U.S. crop and prices. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day. And remember, always treat people like you yourself would like to be treated.